EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Here's the kicker, John Parker Romo, now to get us started. And we are underway in Foxborough. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Nix to throw right away. A short throw to Ingram. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
The leading rusher in NCAA history from Youngstown State. Here's Jaleel McLaughlin. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Throwing Nix. A short throw to Ingram. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. To throw, here's Nix. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Hook up a 15 yards there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. On the handoff, McLaughlin. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
On the ground, here's the rookie from Notre Dame. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll try again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. it just never materialized.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Evan Ingram, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon. That was a really good opening drive on a number of fronts. 10 plays, very methodical, set the tone.
So you know right now, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're on the sideline saying, okay, what do we have to dial up in order to get off the field a lot faster? Because both sides are out there for 10 plays, but one side comes off energized, and the other side comes off with some questions.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. New England trying to get a place on offense. Off the play fake. Here's May. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Looking to throw. May. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Here's May. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. From the 35, here's second down and 3. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
From the gun on 3rd down is May. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Patriots first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Douglas. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. To throw, it's May. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. From the shotgun, May with it. It's complete to Diggs. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. They'll throw with May. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd down and 6 now. Now it's Nix. He'll air this one out for Mims. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Nix. And this is going to be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Patriots take over. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
And he's going to have a Patriots 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
From the gun, it's May. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Open man is born and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. 2nd and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
That is caught, and he will have a Patriots first down. At least it appears that way, and he got it by maybe the length of a football.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down. The tight end Henry here in motion. Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. May now off the bootleg. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And nowhere to hide on that play.
No, there was not, because every exit door, that was surrounded. And I think that was supposed to be a bootleg, but he had no chance to get outside the pocket and try and make a play.
Throwing here is May. And he's going to go down again. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown.
but that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. Jaleel McLaughlin now to return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. To throw is Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down. The give is to McLaughlin. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. On the ground, here's McLaughlin. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Nix to the air. Throw left side complete. That's McLaughlin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Nix. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Nix. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 31-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll run. It's McLaughlin, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 16. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
A carry from McLaughlin. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd down and 8. Here's McLaughlin. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. The slot man in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. On play action, here's Nix. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Douglas, the man in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down, but they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
To the air, May. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Patriots will get a new set of downs. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. From the shotgun, it's May. Open man, that's Henry. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Patriots have taken the lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fighting through at the 25. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And we get another look now at this Broncos offense. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down. Throwing Nix. Dancing to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. To throw, here's Nix. This one complete, it's Devon Vele. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Nix. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Nix once more. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
Well, this might very well have been 4-down territory, but that's not going to matter now. They get a nice throw there on 3rd down, and they're able to keep the drive going.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. Toward the sideline, intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Patriots are going to get the football here at their own 23. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3. Here's May. Caught here by Bell. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
To throw, it's May. Short pass caught by Henry. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Complete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call about the play, because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver, and on that play, it was batted down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, May with it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Well, the defense obviously could not have drawn up a better start to the 2nd half. They're holding on to that slim lead, just looking for a stop. Not only do they get the stop, Charles, they get the pick 6.
Another example that life comes at you fast, doesn't it? One play ago, they're defending a slim lead coming out of the break. Now they're one more stop away from thinking about a possible put-away drive.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. McLaughlin now on the return. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's McLaughlin. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Nix. Now he's loose at the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
They'll run on 1st down. McLaughlin. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20 to 13. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does because now they stay within shouting distance. So that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. New England's offense set to go. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, May. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
They'll throw with May. Out route, and this is Henry with a catch. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's May. He finds Douglas complete. And he will have a Patriots first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Straight ahead, it's Stevenson. And he's taken down inside the 30. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. It may sound cliche, but those are the types of yards he can get you. He's such a bruising back.
He is, and typically with that type of a back, if he has any type of stamina, it shows up later in the ball game. Because trust me, guys get tired of running up and trying to tackle that big fella. It wears on him, and then he gets stronger as the game goes on.
So the completion good for just 3, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll try the left side with Gibson. Fighting through. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a 1-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession. It's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Nix. And this one complete again to Mims. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Off the play fake, Nix. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Keon White got in there for the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
That's taken in left side by Vele. So nothing doing there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Nix. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing here is May. Short pass caught by Henry. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Second and 6. His throw incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That is caught. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a 1st down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
To the air, May. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. Back to throw again. Open man, that's Henry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A give running right, Gibson. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And this complete to Henry over the middle. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. Antonio Gibson. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Patriots are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the fourth quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos about set to go on offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Nix to the air. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. They'll go play action with Nix. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jaleel McLaughlin from 6 yards away. And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to get this out to the 25. The Patriot offense back out, getting set to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Douglas. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. From the shotgun, it's May. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Here's May. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Douglas. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big play there for New England. And even 40 yards.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Gibson here running out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Keon White picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
New England on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. To throw, here's Nix. And that will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They're going. It's Nix. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. Looking to throw. May. He'll dump this down to Stevenson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. To throw, it's May. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. They'll try and run. Stevenson. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a 1st down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And his throw is incomplete. Adam Troutman, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Nix. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Nix looking to throw again. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing Nix. That's taken in left side by Vele. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. On play action, here's Nix. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Patriots are going to recover, and that should just about assure victory. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.